EasyBit, ZBit, and ZBitX official, where we talk everything that's related to cryptocurrency, financial markets, and financial products. Guys, a very warm welcome to another stream of CheesyBit and ZBit platform. It feels a very great pleasure to be able to join these streams and to be able to connect with all you guys. I am so excited. To all the people who do not know, if I am new to you, then you know my name is Nida Afreen and I bring all the news that's related to crypto. So basically, this is one-stop platform where we talk about crypto and so many other things. So guys, it's been a great pleasure to be able to join these streams and to be able to connect with you guys. Yet another day, I am not sure what to talk about, because every day talking about crypto, I think you guys enjoy the same way as I do. I have to take you through a live crypto market news and update today, and then maybe we'll see what's there for the day for us to enjoy, to watch, to discuss so many things that we have. So we can see Bitcoin being negative today, has reached 105. I think yesterday it was almost trading at 109 if I'm not wrong. Slightly, the prices are obviously in the negative. Ethereum is also down by 3.67% to it's trading at 2,625. BNB at 669, which is like down by 2.09%, and then we have Solana at 163.44, down by 5.25%, and then XRP at 2.1870, down by 4.24% as compared to the 24 hours data that we have. So guys, I hope each one of you are following all the cryptocurrencies, all the things that you guys really like investing and trading into. So hopefully each one of you is doing your job of making sure that you know everything about what you need to know, right? So the market capitalization stands at 3.32 trillion. The volume is 139.52 billion US dollars. So everything is in US dollar terms, as you all know. And then we can see the fear and greed index is still on the greed side. Even though markets are negative, I don't think there's any looking back on that front, right? Because we are still crazy about crypto and we don't want to get out of it. Even though markets are down, whether there are pullbacks, there are consolidations, there are price corrections or whatnot, everything that happens in this market, but we still want to be connected to the markets, right? So that's what I think it's always part of the crypto market. So coming to Bitcoin, I am really upset. Of course, it has gone down way too much, like I think around what was that, 109 if I'm not wrong yesterday. So 105, almost 6, 7, 8, 9, 4,000 difference that it has made in just about just 24 hours, not even 24 hours, I guess. I was streaming yesterday between 6 to 8 Dubai time, and here it is 11 o'clock, 11:20 at the moment. So I think within some little hours, I think it's again back to like it's slowing down. That's what it is going down. So probably we can check on the news front. Let's just see together what is happening on the why are crypto markets down today. Let's just understand it. Bitcoin is positioned as a leading sovereign asset as the US ponders incorporating it into national reserves and adopts policies supportive of cryptocurrencies. Pakistan sets a precedent by establishing a state-managed Bitcoin reserve supported by 2,000 MW for mining, indicating a significant shift in crypto policy. So guys, let's just see probably if I have some bit of news on that front where I can get to know why is Bitcoin price down, or why is Bitcoin going down, all those things. Maybe we can just discover it together. Hold on for a second. I am starting my day, and as you can see, just a sec. Sorry, 2 seconds. So we know for a fact that of late there has been tariffs that are being imposed by, of course, none other than Mr. Donald Trump, basically. And their recent developments in the US trade policy has introduced volatility into global markets, uncertainty, and surrounding former President Donald Trump's tariff policies has unsettled investors, leading to a decline in Bitcoin to its lowest level in a week. Massive options entry today marks the expiration of over 11 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum option contracts. Such large-scale expirations often lead to increased volatility as traders adjust their positions. I think one of the major reasons why the crypto markets are down, because there are high massive options expiry. So there are some expirations that are happening, which is worth 11 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is leading to like a lot of volatility. And also I think because the people, whoever holds those positions, they are exiting and taking new positions. So that's the reason probably the markets are down. Then there's high leverage liquidations. The market has witnessed significant liquidations with over 750 million in positions being closed. This cascade effect is often triggered when leverage positions are forcibly closed due to price movements exacerbating the downturn. And one of the major other reason could be profits after taking major highs. Of course, we saw that the price has surged majorly for all the cryptocurrencies. I think Ethereum was also around 2,800 that it reached. Solana, if I'm not wrong, I think it reached around 179, 180 as well. BNB and XRP, I'm not a bit sure on that. I need to check its all-time high. I mean, so far, whatever the high that it has reached. And then we have Bitcoin, which of course reached 112 as well. So I think after reaching that high, now the price corrections are happening and the prices are just, correcting itself, and people are just again getting back to that pullback zone, and then maybe just after that it will recover, and that is what it is leading to. So, and moreover, of course, we have seen some institutional outflows, which means that institutional investors have been pulling funds from crypto related investments from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust experienced 200 million in outflow over the past 48 hours, indicating a cautious stance among large investors. So we have seen among all the cryptocurrencies, I think even Doge is nearly 11% down, and Sui is experiencing a 5.5% drop. Ethereum is experiencing almost 3% decline, and Bitcoin is also down from last week's high of 111 and 970. I think that's what it is. So while the current conditions are challenging, some analysis also is there, which we all assume that there's some kind of consolidation that's happening across. There's some price corrections that are happening, and that's why we can see that the full-fledged market is like from the bullish market slightly turning into bearish market. But is that a point of worry for all of us? If you ask me, no. Reason being, this market will always go down and come back, and things like that will happen. So there's no, this is not going to be like forever. So it's okay. I think for the short term, we are okay with whatever is happening, and then I don't think so there's anything to worry about. And even though when the markets are down, it's still a time to take a position if you haven't taken. So you guys have to go buck it up and then, just get a new position altogether, and then fight for your profits again. So I don't think there's anything going wrong on that front, right? So yeah, so Texas considers high holding Bitcoin in the treasury, which would greatly influence state fiscal strategy. Guys, so much is being talked about Bitcoin, right? I mean, I'm just wondering, like, Bitcoin is going, like, getting so much of, acceptance across, the like major countries are going and adopting it. There's so many institutional adoptions, the new guidelines, the frameworks, everything is coming in picture, and that's what is taking it for, like, the prices are soaring high. Reason being is obviously the adoption that it is actually taking. So it does say that Bitcoin is positioned as a leading sovereign asset as the US ponders incorporating into national reserves and adopts policies supportive of cryptocurrency. So I think it's a good news for all of us, and Bitcoin's institutional adoption and whatever love support it is getting, it's definitely helping all of us as traders to make hell lot of money out there. And if you haven't actually started doing it, you have to start getting into it, because there's no right or wrong time. I know some of them have reached their like major potential. They have stabilized so much. We are like still not so sure that should we actually get into it or should we get into something else. All these things keep popping up in our heads, and that's very much okay. And I don't think there's nothing right or wrong in this, and there's no right or wrong time as such, actually, guys. So what are you doing about it is what matters right now. Still, see, even though the Bitcoin is down by 2.19% today for a 24-hour change, it does say it is at 82% bullish sentiment. I have no idea why are people, even when the markets are down, they're always bullish about it. Is it like some kind of trap or something, like where I feel maybe it's not the accurate data, or maybe it's just I don't know what is it. So that's what is actually, always in the mind. So let's just go into the community and check if we have something nice, new coming up over there. I like to take you guys through that. And yeah, let's just see some little news also. I want to see some news as well. So on the news front, what do we have? I don't want to take you through every bit of news out here. Maybe some bit of news here and there, and that's what we do. Okay, let's just see what this news is all about. Looks like something good for all of us to grab. Cryptocurrency market, once buzzing with excitement, has witnessed a swift downturn, with market capitalization dipping 2.43 to 3.35 trillion. Meanwhile, trading volumes have climbed to 184.7 billion over the past days, signaling traders' rapid repositioning. This abrupt shift is driven by unpredictable macroeconomic factors and saturated risk appetites within the sector. So what led to the decline? So we all know recent decisions from the US federal courts overturning former president's tariffs extension plans have a cast of shadow of uncertainty over international trade. This was one of the reasons. Treasury Secretary Michelle Besant highlighted this by stating, and the result has been risk-averse atmosphere in traditional markets, subsequently influencing cryptocurrency values as well. Institutional withdrawals and increased margin calls due to heightened US bond yields further fuel to flight to catch, impacting the market swiftly. And what do the technical indicators? We have so many other factors, of course, apart from not just the tariffs. We also know there were like hacks in certain cryptocurrencies. We also know for a fact that there were market corrections that were happening. We also know that it went for a price correction, because after reaching its all-time high, it's time actually we correct the price, and then again we enter the markets and we get a new position altogether to be able to fetch the profits that we are looking for, right? So that's what we are trying to do over here. Bitcoin's prices have retreated to 104,684, a 9-day low with 419 million of long positions liquidated. Although the daily super trend indicator remains green, it is turning downward. Analyst Lena Corhonian warms. So if it falls to hold at 102, Bitcoin could see further decline. That is what the news is all about. Ethereum also mirrors Bitcoin challenges, unable to break the 2,800 level and now sitting at 2,609 after a 3.6% drop. The fading MACD histogram points to possible bearish crossovers with Ethereum funding rates loosening and 2,400 protective options increasing. So I think that's what is happening out there. I don't think, all of them, of course, are going for a dip, and we all know the major reasons behind it. And if Ethereum is going to hold, 2,800 benchmark, which it has created a resistance at that level, then it might as well, if it breaks that, probably we might see an uptrend for it, or if we see that it's going to, break through, because it has already broken through the downward trend of like reaching 2,600. What the price looks like? Ethereum is at 2,626 right now. So it's already, crossed the, it's already crossed the support levels. So if it continues to hold that, maybe we can see an uptrend, but if it's going to go further down, we might see a decline as well. So let's just wait and watch and what it looks like. But as you all know, there's a way of entering into the market, even if you are not too sure using the indicators. With the way you can, definitely take a position for a long term, depending on the moving averages of the 5 day. And most of the traders do this practice of taking the 5 days moving average and then they enter into the market. So, what do you think of it? Probably let's just see. I'm going to maybe analyze two things together. One, directly putting indicator and checking if that's as accurate as what my real mathematical calculations could look like. So let's just see together. While I do this, hold on for a second. I'm going to put a moving average here. That's going to be a simple moving average for sure. And then we calculate the prices out there. Okay, so let's just see simple moving average, SMA. Okay, and this is on a, I want to put it on a, yeah. So my 5 day moving average is here. What if I change the ranges? I will change the ranges. Instead of 9, I'm going to put 5. So probably the averages stands out at 105, 131. Okay, 105. 180, or 107 if I'm not wrong. Let's just go and check it out as per the prices out here. Bitcoin price history for 5 days. Okay. Let's just look into the historical data and pull out the 5 days information to see what could be the average price for a long-term position. So what I usually do is I get onto the lows. So I have got all the lows with me here. Okay. Guys, if you join the streams from in between, then you might not understand what we are doing here. So if in case you have missed out on anything that we were talking about, you might as well go offline and check our streams offline, because we are available right now on almost 3 channels right now on YouTube. That's a Zbit platform, and a Cheesybit platform, which is also on YouTube. And then we also have our X account, which is a Zbit official, which is also there on a Zbit platform. So I want you guys to just go and check it out yourself, if in case you have missed out on anything. Okay. So here I'm taking out the moving average for 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, it seems to be wrong. So I think I did something wrong here for sure while I was talking to you guys. Let's just see. So I think even on the moving averages, where is it? Where did I plot it? I plotted it here, right? On the technical indicator. Where's my trading view? I think it's closed. Yeah. Yeah, it's closed. Okay, so moving average, simple. So definitely it's not performing the way it has to. Ideally, it's still down by, I think, $2,000 almost. The moving average does indicate the ideal position should be around 107, but I'm a bit confused on this part, because usually because Bitcoin has reached its like such a huge number at times, to kind of find out that levels out there is a very, very difficult thing, given that, I mean, it has come a long way. Imagine the lows have been Ideally, the moving average for 5 days should have been 107, but it's still trading at 105, which is still down by that percent. So how much is it? Let's just see what it looks like. It's down by, oh, it's here. It's down by 3% still. So the ideal point of entry should have been 107, but it's still further down. So there is some kind of news also on this. Let's see if there is anything on that front. I'm so sorry, guys. My eyes are hurting a bit. Yeah. So we know that the entry point could have been anywhere around 107. We can still keep I think we need to do a bit of more math on it, which means that we need to calculate it further down of 4%, which is right now at, I think at that point in time you can take a position. Right now, I think if I do analysis on the smaller time frames, putting all my different indicators are here. Wow, look at that MACD. My God. Isn't it that crazy, guys? Look at that. Like it's like so down. It's in the bearish territory right now. And there is huge downturn right now. Okay. That's on a 3 minutes time frame. I also have to put my RSI here. So while these may look like these in smaller time frames, we also have to see this on a bigger time frames. Like let's just see for 45 minutes how it looks like. Of course, on the volume trend, we can see some major spikes of the markets. It does reflect a lot of volume going down. In that sense, the price is also shooted down for that matter. Like right now, it's at 104, and it's going on decreasing. So the indicators are clearly showing. MACD is slowly turning to red, which means that MACD is trying to cross the signal line, showing downward momentum. And of course, even on the RSI, we can see that it has reached almost 26.06%, points. If I look at look at it at 30 minutes time frame, it's still at 31.86. Not much difference to the MACD, of course, and then volume also remains same. However, let's just see also on a 15 minutes time frame. On a 15 minutes time frame, it still is just a little while ago that it started crossing the bearish territory, and we can see it's still on 26.59 on the 15 minutes time frame. The same goes with the 10 minutes time frame. I think a slight difference when it comes to a 5 minutes time frame. I can see even if the time frames are changing, then the RSI divergence is not changing to a larger extent. But coming to maybe MACD, we can see a huge difference that's happening on that front. Of course, in all the cases, it's below on the bearish territory, but then it's so you see such volatility, such huge changes within a split of seconds that happen here. So from being on 26 points on the RSI, it has reached again to like 39.87. Even on the highest time frame, if I can just locate this, like maybe on a 45 minutes time frame, on a 45 minutes time frame, it does show still it's in the negative zone, it's still declining, but on a shorter time frames the momentum is changing. So you see the red histograms on the MACD is about to take position, and here we can see still a decline out here. So let's just wait and watch. I am going to maybe remove volume indicator here and add my Fibonacci, and let's just see. So after reaching 0.618 on the Fibonacci, it still went on decreasing, which means there was a further decline and there was a reversal in the trend, and market has seen a down trend right now, and it's going on declining with very minimal buying pressure out there. There's more of selling pressure out here. I'm sure there's not major reason for it, but of course we can obviously expect, because Bitcoin is highly demanded by the whales, by the institutional investors, by institutional investing and all of that. That is probably the reason, because even on the volume indicator, we did see that there was a basically uh, major sell off. The volume, whenever the red volume on the volume spike, like, when the volume indicators basically indicates like there's a lot, like there's major sell off that's happening out there. Yeah. Guys, while we are watching this market right now, because the price is going on declining even after the retracement point, which could have been 0.618, even 0.5 was still a great point to enter, because most of the cases 0.5 is the golden ratio where it's the ideal position that you should be entering into the market. But it saw a further decline on that level as well. So probably we can see that it's still going on declining. In fact, if even on RSI, on different time frames, we have seen it's reached to its level, all its level. So I think a further decline on all the time frames on the RSI is still a needed confirmation. We don't at this moment, still to take a position is not a good idea, given that on the histogram we are not yet seeing a major change on it. Of course, we want to see some red histograms being strong, which means the dark red histograms has to be like on a very stronger side to be able to decide whether the trend will continue to go further down, or if it will be taking an upward trend from here. So we need some more time and confirmation in order to understand. On a shorter time frames, the RSI has already reached its oversold territory, which could mean that you could have taken a position. But on longer time frames, the bigger time frames, it's still at 26, which means that it's still not reached its complete oversold territory. And we want to wait further down. We want to wait further to see if it can take a further downturn and then move from there. So let's just wait and see what happens on that front. Meanwhile, I would like to pick up I'm sorry guys, I have some kind of, I don't know, I have some itching out here. Oh my god, why? Somehow I have some itching, guys, sorry. So let me just play a small video out here while we are watching that. I know it's a bit boring when you are actually just going on watching it for quite some time and you're not getting what you need to know. I think let's just watch this together. It looks a bit interesting for me. Or let's just listen to Mr. Kiyosaki. I think all of us like him a lot, right? Even in fact, I also like him a lot. He has some very useful.
This is the new economy. We are just coming out of the longest bull run in history, 11 years. Started in 2011. And in 2011, I made the biggest fortunes of my life because that was the MBS, mortgage-backed securities, and the CDO crashes, the real estate crashed. And I backed up the truck, and I borrowed $300 million to buy the best real estate all across the Southwest. This is the largest, longest bull market in history. And I look at some of these young kids, you know, and I own some Bitcoin, I own some Ethereum, but they're all saying the same thing. This time it's different, you know, and Bitcoin's crashed. And you know, the Federal Reserve Bank, I can't believe that. I mean, people say, don't fight the Fed and all this. Well, my question to everybody is this: can the Fed print oil? Can the Fed print gasoline? Can it print food? But everybody sits there and they've been brainwashed by Wall Street to go, do as the Fed tells you to do. Well, you got to be kidding me. Those guys are the three stooges, Janet Yellen, Biden, and Powell. You got to be kidding me. Why would you listen to them? Volcker saying it's going to crush, so he raised interest rates, right? So Powell is now channeling the spirit of Volcker. And, you know, when Volcker crushed inflation, debt to GDP was 30%. And today it's 125% if you believe the numbers. So if he channels Volcker, and the other thing about history will tell you this: there's never been a soft landing. It's more Fed talk. I've made more money in the last 3 years in my whole life. And so that's what I want to talk about with you today, is that there's other ways of looking at investing, you know, but to think that Powell is going to save you, when, as you may know, the reverse repo market is running at $2 trillion a day today.
Right.
$2 trillion a day. And people are listening to Powell? You got to be kidding me. I own no stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. I do not touch paper. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm saying people have been brainwashed by the Fed, the Treasury, and whatever those guys are. Go to school, get a job, pay your taxes, get a high-paying job, and invest for the long term in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. It was in 1974 when I came back from Vietnam, a two-tour Marine helicopter pilot. I saw communism at work. It was not pretty. And I come back in 1974, they passed ERISA. ERISA stands for 401k right now, or IRA. And I went, oh my God, they're funneling my generation, the boomers, into the stock market. And they don't know anything about money. And in 1974, the biggest exodus, Adam, was school teachers suddenly becoming financial planners. I watched that with horror.
Interesting.
I watched it in horror. That's the poor leading the blind. And today we have baby boomers who are hoping the stock market stays up in their 401k just as Social Security goes bust. You think that's an accident? That's all I'm saying. I'm just a Marine. I'm a dumbass Marine lieutenant. Flew the gunship, went down 3 times. But today I listen to this bullshit and I go, oh my God, how can we be that stupid? Because we went to school, we did as we're told. Don't fight the Fed, do as the Fed tells you. Invest for the long-term, well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. And don't worry, Powell is now channeling Volcker. When the debt to GDP is 120%, you got to be kidding me. So when they were dropping the interest rates, I thought I died and went to heaven because I'd buy apartment houses. I own 13,000 apartment houses. Every time the Fed dropped the interest rates, it jacked the value of my properties up, but I also improved the properties and I refinanced out. So today I own no money in any of my properties. 13,000 units, all throwing cash. They said in a bull market, even idiots feel smart. I'm listening to all these idiots, you know, after 2011, you know, the market crashed in '08 because the repo market went bad. And the repo market is the credit of Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns was bad. And they hammered that. Anyway, it's a long story. My friends are all inside that world. But then when it came back out, they just started pumping money. Just like you said about Christine Lagarde, you just start lying. And what they did was they kept printing more money to save a bad economy. It was already crashing again in 2011, but they kept printing money. And today we're going to pay that price. I use debt because debt is tax-free money. So what I did was I rehabbed my apartment, 13,000 of them. I just kept buying more with the cash flow. And I'd refinance out as the interest rates dropped. So I'm in good shape now. Then I set all interest rates right now. So I use debt. And who's that guy who says live debt free? Well, that's his opinion. I don't do that. I don't flip houses. Remember all those guys who were flipping?
Everybody flipped.
No, they were stupid. Stupid. When the moment you flip, you have a tax consequence. I never flip. I finance out. That's tax-free money. And not only that, is when I started investing, I had to invest at 12% interest rates. I like debt, and I don't pay taxes. Because every time I borrow more money to float my properties, there's 3 types of tax breaks. I got appreciation, depreciation, and amortization. So I zero out. So my cost of money is, my tax on debt is 0.
العظمة لا تتسم بالتواضع.
And I use that tax, appreciation, depreciation, amortizations, all in which I poured that, to offset tax in my income. When Biden took the Keystone XL pipeline off, my oil I was selling from the ground, which is a tax break also, went from $30 a barrel to $130 a barrel. Today it's like $120.
Yeah.
But oh my God, this guy Biden is going to bankrupt us. I'm not saying him, but there's somebody who wants to bankrupt because oil is the lifeblood of civilization. I worked for Standard Oil of California as a tanker officer when I graduated from school. I understand oil. I was on the Alaska pipeline and all this. I'm like, he's screwing us. So when he raises inflation, the poor and middle class will go broke. And that was just done as soon as he was being done before he took office. And so I'm looking at this guy's going to sell America down the drain. I'm not saying it's him, but somebody wants us to go broke. And I'm watching this going, oh my God, so what else so I have oil wells. I get tax breaks for those. Because I don't invest in oil stocks. I work for Standard Oil, but I don't invest in Standard Oil. I invest in the oil in the ground. I'm a wildcatter. Everybody says don't do it. I don't recommend it, but I like doing it. My gold mines don't do it. I like doing it. There's more opportunity today than ever before, but not if you've been brainwashed into going to school, getting a job, paying taxes, live debt-free, and invest in the stock market. This bubble right now, Adam, is a bigger bubble than 2008. This is the everything bubble. It's going to be not only stocks, bonds, but also credit. But it's more opportunities going to come out of it. And that's what I'm saying. Be careful who you listen to, because your best asset, but also your biggest liability, are the ideas in your head. And be careful who puts them there.
And here we have, if you're right about Bitcoin, something that's now lasted something along the lines of 15 years. And so I've been trying to understand if in fact, and
Never knew what to think about Bitcoin when it first came on my radar, but unlike me, Warren Buffett was
Well, in
terms of crypto. In 1942.
I think this one looks good. Let's watch this.
1942, 80 years ago, I took $114.75, every penny I'd saved, and I bought 3 shares of City Service Preferred. And City Service was a pretty well-known name down then.
Warren Buffett, the man with a net worth of over $100 billion, has a story to share. Here's what he did.
When I was 11, I picked stocks. I had the whole wrong idea. I was interested in watching stocks, and I thought stocks were things that went up and down, and I charted them. I read books on technical analysis. I read Edwards and Mickey. I think that was the classic then. Hundreds of pages. And I read that whole thing over and over again. I read Garfield and Drew on lessons. I read everything. And I thought the first 8 years, I thought the important thing was to predict what a stock would do and predict the stock market. And then I read Ben Graham, when I was 19 or 20. And I realized that I was doing it exactly the wrong way. But it didn't hurt that I had that background and everything. I rejiggered my mind and when I read the book, The Intelligent Investor. And from that point, I never bought another stock. I bought businesses that happened to be publicly traded. But I became an owner of a business, and I did not care whether a stock went up or down the next day or the next week or the next month or the next year, and I didn't have any idea what it would do. I didn't know what the stock market would do, but I knew businesses.
To have success in the long run, you've got to love what you do. Buffett believes that finding your passion and sticking to it is the key to success. By doing what you love, you'll have the motivation to keep going, even when things get tough.
I'm a bright guy who's terribly interested in what he does, so I've spent a lifetime doing it. I've surrounded myself with people that bring out the best in me, and you don't need to be a genius in what I do. That's the good thing about it. If I went into physics or something, a whole lot of other subjects, I'd be an also-ran. But I am in a game that you don't need. You probably need 120 points of IQ, but 170 doesn't do any better than 120. It may do worse, probably do worse, but you don't really need brains. You need the right orientation. 90% of the people, I'm pulling the figure out of the air, but 90% of the people that buy stocks don't think of them the right way.
Join BlockDad 2025. Participate and see your contribution.
They think about something that they hope goes up next week. And they think about the market as something they hope goes up. And if it's down, they feel worse. I feel better. And I hope it goes down when I buy it because I'll buy more. I try to keep my competitive spirit in a game where I can win. I do know this. When I want to do something, I always want to do it big. I put my whole net worth in City Service Preferred. March 11th, 1942. I have never had less than 80% of my money in American business. You can call them stocks, but I see them as American business.
Buffett's success speaks for itself. By investing in strong, stable businesses over the long term, he became one of the richest people in the world.
I've owned a piece of American business for at least 80% at all times. And, I don't want to own anything else. I want to own a home and things my family wants and all that. But owning 5 homes doesn't mean anything to me because I'm going to be happy in one home, and there's a certain amount of things that go wrong with everything. And if I got 2 homes, I know I've got more problems and I don't have more happiness. I would have to honestly say that what makes me happiest is what I'm doing. I enjoy 2 things about it. One, I know I'll win over time. That doesn't mean I'll beat everybody else or anything like that, but I'm in a game that's very, very, very easy if you have the right lessons in your mind about what you're buying. I'm not buying stocks. I'm buying pieces of overwhelmingly American business. And I'm happy when that's happy, when I'm doing it. I'm happy when stocks are going down. I'm happier when stocks are going down because I can buy more of them with the same amount of money. I'd be happy if I was a farmer. I'd want farmland to go down so I could buy more acreage. If I was, it just makes sense. And I'll tell you the second thing I really like. I like being trusted by people. And, I would rather do what I do with partners than do it sitting in a room myself, even though I might make more money that way. I need to know that I think that Berkshire Hathaway is going to be worth more money someday down the road. Not tomorrow. I want it to go down if I'm buying something. I would say this. The world has changed a lot since that report was written. But the world changed a lot in 2000, 2 years ago. Let's pretend there is no stock market. Let's say I had to buy these privately, like you buy a farm privately, like you buy an apartment house privately. They're investments. So you're looking to say, what can I do with money I've saved to put it away so I feel good about getting it back later under any circumstances, but not necessarily on a given moment. But if I have a farm, it's going to take me a while. But people would be so much better if they actually didn't have a stock market in terms of buying businesses. But, and when you're buying businesses, don't call them stocks. When you're buying businesses, when you're buying apartment houses, sometimes when you're buying raw land, all kinds of things. There's times when you get a chance to act and do something really intelligent. May happen once every 10 years, once every 20 years. Depends on what field you're in, where you live, what you know, all of that. But most of the important things, there's a lot of foundational work. United States economy, and it's very easy to look at the statistics on it. I mean, more people, a greater percentage of the American population is
guys, I'll be back in 5
wealthy
minutes.
now, or having more income now than they've ever had. And if you look at whether Bank of America give you their average deposit, you just look at the wealth, and that doesn't mean everybody's wealthy, but it does mean relative to any other period of time, people have more money now. They get mortgages at lower rates than they've ever gotten, so if they want to buy them, where the bottom 2% in terms of income in the United States, bottom 5%, and for sure the top 1%. All live better than John D. Rockefeller was living when I was 6 years old. John D. Rockefeller was the richest man in the world. And today, you can get better medicine, better education, better entertainment, better transportation. You can do everything better than he could. You can, it's astounding. That's in my lifetime. That if you wanted to watch a football game, he still had to go there. and I can sit there with this big screen, and they keep showing me the replay, and explaining to me what happened and everything. And maybe everybody doesn't have a screen as big as mine, but damn near everybody has a screen or an iPhone or a computer or access to one, and they have access. When I was born, the dentist didn't use Novocaine. There's no country that's done what our country's done. If you go back 3 of my lifetimes, are looking at less than 1% of the world's population, closer to half of 1%. Half of 1% of the people in the world are sitting in this land. They don't work harder than people in all the rest of the world. I mean, in terms of hours of unpleasant labor, everybody's got hours of unpleasant labor in those days practically. They don't come laden with gold and, they are half of 1%. And they work the same hours, they got the same IQs. They may be a little self-selected in terms of enterprise, in terms of going across oceans and things. And fast forward a couple of lifetimes, and they've got 20% plus of all the bounty in the world. I mean, that is something that has worked like nothing. Just imagine that. If you've gone to anybody, Constitutional Congress, in 1789, if you go to any one of the representatives there, and you said, I want to tell you what this place is going to look like, in 3 more of your lifetimes, your great-great-grandchildren, are going to be flying in the skies, they're going to be watching sports all over the world, they're going to be entertained, their medicine. They'd have hauled you off to a lunatic society. When Thomas Edison did all the things he did, he made some money, but we're using it. It belongs to us, and it doesn't. If you take what an hour of labor delivered to you 100 years ago, and what an hour of labor delivers to you now for you and your family, it's unbelievable.
So I think that was a beautiful piece of information, guys. I think what's important is all of us, when we come to these platforms, we want to learn. We want to make sure that we want to, all we are trying to do is we're trying to make a living where we are not just living paycheck to paycheck, right? So I know for a fact that all of us are trying our best so that we can create the income, the wealth that we want to create. And of course, all these inspirational people, whoever has done so well in their lives, we do want to follow their footsteps. We do want to learn from them what they have done differently that we couldn't do or we are not trying to do. So these lessons will be staying with all of us. We have to just, implement them, see how they actually work out while they keep sharing. All these inspirational people, whoever has become like really great in their lives, yes, we do have so many examples out there. And I'm sure, I'm not saying that who I idolize, probably you have to do the same. It's just really, a piece of information which we need to grab. And I think that's where we are headed to. So with Zbit, a platform getting launched, I'm so excited to share that it is available on the Play Store. So if you get onto the Play Store, you're going to see, let me just show you a bit of a demo, maybe so that you know where to get the Zbit platform. Just a sec. So here I am. So once you get on your App Store and you just put Zbit here, and you can see there's this icon which is our logo, which is our Zbit logo. Go and click on that and then you can install it. However, it's already installed on my platform, on my phone already, so I don't need to install it, but you got to go and download that for it. And then once you open it, it gives you the option to sign up with any of these options here. It's continue with Google, continue with Facebook, or continue with email. So you have 3 options out here. You can use any of these and then you can enter into it. So I will be doing continue with Google and I'll use my account to log into it. Okay. So you see it says login successfully. Okay. So here you can see there are so many options out here. When you click on this icon here on the top right, you get all these options out here. So under the payment method, first you need to go and get your KYC registered. Okay, that's what you need to do. So in case you need to add and get on to start trading on it or do what's required, you need to basically first register yourself. KYC is what you need to do. I'm not going to do this right now. Probably I'll do this in my next stream and show you guys because I need my documents to be doing it. Here you have an option of inviting your friends, and inviting your friends could get you a commission, which is a good way of making income, right guys? So you're getting rewarded in the USDT terms here, which means that the more you share, the more USDT is going to get credited to you. So even if you're not trading as in trading, you know that you can actually get onto this platform to make a passive income. Yeah. So that is what it is. You have an invitation link which you can copy and send. You can either send an invitation code, or also you can share a QR code which will allow you to receive commission. So guys, I am telling you, even if you haven't forwarded this to anybody, or even if you do not know how to trade in crypto, if you do not know what are the products available in crypto, that's still okay. You can still make passive income, or you can still make income through this by sharing this with as many people as you can. And the more you share, the more you're going to get rewarded for it in terms of USDT. So please go and do this right now. Now let's move on to the next thing. Under settings, you do have the options about the language. Whichever language suits you, you can go for this. And there is an up-down color. So if in case you want to change the chart settings out, you can do this. Green is rising, red means false, or red is rising, green means false. So you can change the settings of the chart out here. Now on this thing, there is about zbit.com. There is a contact email which you can copy and send any email and discuss anything out here if you have any questions. And then we also have something called online service. Okay. And you just mention your name. I'm going to mention my name here and send it. So you see, you can get connected to our chat people, like our customer service, directly through this feature. So see, you can see live with me right now that there's a customer service who is handling it here. So you can see our chat, our customer service is so prompt that basically they will respond to you immediately on this platform. So you don't have to worry anything that you have, any small issue, any problem out there, any complaint, grievance, anything that you have, your customer service is there for you. So you can see they respond to you so quickly. While I'm actually talking to you, they are readily available and they are talking to me and they are answering it so quickly. Can you see that? So the biggest problem which each one of us come across while we are actually starting to use something new is when the technicalities of it, the usage of it, the utility of it. If the user interface is not so basically user friendly or things like that, then we always have this problem out there, right? So what's the most important thing for any of us? The most important thing for me at least is basically having a good customer service, which means that any small big thing which I have, I want someone to address my problems immediately. So be it adding my funds to the wallets or withdrawing the funds or spot trading or something which did not go well, something I made a mistake and I really didn't pay attention to, like I did something and I need some assistance right away. So I think that is what is needed, and this feature definitely is a very good feature which will help you whenever you are just at any point in time, because our customer service is almost 24/7, because crypto markets also work 24/7. So we will be there to guide you at every step. So do not worry, even if you are just spot trading or you're just doing any other thing on the platform, there is somebody for you to guide you and to help you out at every stage of your life. So you need not worry about anything. There's somebody who is always there behind you. So that's about the online service. Then we have something called Help Center here. This also says it's an online service. So you see, that also leads you towards chatting with the customer service here. Okay. And then we have an inbox message. So looks like when we have this contact email, okay, and when we kind of send emails to customer care or something, that's where you get your inbox messages, if I'm not wrong. But because I haven't really used this feature so far, I do not know exactly at the moment. Once I get to understand how it is working, I will be sharing more details about it. So under the security center, you can see the first feature out here, the security center. So you have your email, okay. I don't know if the lighting is actually allowing you to see email. Then we have our Google Authenticator. So in case you want to link your passwords through Google Authenticator, you want to keep a two-phased security or three-phase security, whatever, then you can do that. There is a login password which if you want to change. There's a fund password here. So withdrawal whitelist, you can see this. I think the people who are already trading and who have been using different platforms, you know for a fact that what is whitelisting in crypto, right? Whitelisting is basically only verified IDs and password gets whitelisted. So in case there are some transactions which you need, further, further protection or something like that, then you need to get your account whitelisted. And after whitelisting it is when you can actually go for only verified addresses and existing addresses. So probably it might not allow you in this case, especially when you want to do a P2P or something like that, it might not allow you to use anything and everything. So only whitelisted accounts under this particular method can do the transaction. So suppose you want to do a bank transfer and you don't want to use your debit cards or any other ways of making money, or like transferring money or depositing money. The whitelist accounts, usually once you get whitelisted, you can also do a bank transfer through this. So at this moment my KYC is an unverified. You can see, I don't know if you're able to see, it's an unverified account, but I will be verifying it very soon with all the things that I need to put up there. Okay. Now coming to the home page of it, you can see here there is a home button here. There are markets here, and you can see it's right now just having, you can have a favorites out here, which means you can create your own watch list here by adding whatever you think you would like to watch. Then you have the spot account here, which is basically showing you all the cryptos which are available for trading. So right now we have TIA with USDT, the pairings, I'll tell you the pairings out here. It's Uni with USDT, BTC with USDT, and most of them are with USDT itself. BCH with USDT, WLD with USDT, DOT USDT, AVAX USDT, XLM USDT, ETH USDT, XRP USDT, Solana Sol, which is USDT, ADA, which is like Cardano, Doge, TRX, Shiba, Link, TON, BNB, LTC. All these are trading pairs with USDT itself. So you have all these available on the spot market. Coming to the futures market, we have BTC USDT, ETH USDT, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Doge, TRX, Link, TON, BNB, Shiba Inu, INJ, XLM, AVAX, HBAR, BCH, DOT, WLD, LTC, Uni, Near USDT. So all these are available on that front. Now coming to the trade, this is how the trading platform looks like. This is where you buy and sell, and you can see it's just a very, very easy way. You can put your limit orders here, or you can put a market order here. So if you're just starting out on spot trading, then you know that there are two types of orders that we place. One is a limit order, one is a market order. So market order gets executed at the current market price at which it is trading, and limit orders are the orders at which price you would like to buy. So I'm sure being in the crypto for some time, you understand that there are few things and terms and terminologies that you need to understand in the crypto space and also on the spot trading space in case you're interested to, spot trade. However, in case you are still doubtful about anything, we are just one, click away. We are there very much on the profile itself. Once you log in, you will find our X account, you will find all our YouTube channels where we have all the guidance that you need in order to register on the app, as well as how to use the features that are available. Just in case you still think there's something which is missing and you think that there's not much happening or you're not understanding something, we are live 8 hours a day, and you can as well reach out to us directly on the live chats that we have while we are live, or at the same time you can reach out to our customer service, which is 24/7 available to you. Okay, so that's also a feature that's available to you. So you place any market orders or you place any limit orders, it's very much here. But in case something goes wrong while you're placing the orders, like buy or sells, in the limit orders, then you can always reach out to the customer care, talk to them and get whatever problem you have sorted out yourself. Okay, now coming to the futures, you can see here it's just the same, open, close, and you have limit orders. And then this is where you kind of, the last tab that you see here is the balance tab. I don't know if the lighting is good enough for you guys to see this, but if it is not available, you guys have to let me know in the chat. Okay, so let me just put this. So here you see we have the deposit option here, the withdrawal option here, the transfer option and the transaction option. So transaction is nil, transfer is like between the spot to futures account, or you want to change something, you can change this with the arrow here. Can you see? Can you click on this and then you can change it. And if you want to withdraw it, so you see you need to get KYC verified here first, which means that you need to put your KYC details out here. Since I live in Dubai, UAE, I'm going to put my UAE resident card, which is the Emirates ID. That I will show you in my next stream, because I think we're heading towards almost the end of the session, and right now I will take you to those features at a later time. However, you need to be KYC verified in order to deposit or withdraw funds here. Okay, and then deposit, you see there is an option of fiat deposit here, and under fiat deposit you can see there is INR which you can deposit. Okay, right now I think INR is the only option we have. Yes, no, I can change my currency to any of this. So I have Eritrea, Cameroon, Montenegro. I don't know if these are, so these are these are named as all of these, but you have your currencies here: Tunisia, Senegal, GBP, Brazil, Mexico, currency. We have euros, you have all of them. See, SZL, PHP, TMT, DZZ, AMD, USD, SBD, Euro, USD, SDG, USD, EUR. So all these currencies are available on the platform. So whichever is your fiat currency, you can actually get into trading on it. But the first and foremost important step is to make sure that you are actually getting onto this and depositing your fiat. Then comes all the other features, which is like, getting onto the spot trading or whatever. So there's also Australian dollars here. Okay. So we have so many currencies out here. KHR, SOS, KES. I don't know if you're able to see. NOK, QAR, HTG. That's QAR is Qatari Riyal, I guess. HTG, GYD. I don't know. Some of them are like too new for me. BAM, EGP, AUD, GTQ, ISK, ETB, LKR, ZAR, ZAR, BMD, JOD, CLP, RUB. I think that's ruble, which is Russia's currency. USD, LYD, Libya's currency. USD, CDF, I think it's a Congo currency. BOB, Albania is ALL. EUR, TOP, NSD, MRU, XCD. So all these are available. MGA, XAF, XOF, NZD, NPR, OMR, DJF, South Korea, KRW, Norway, MMK, AED, VUE, KGS, F and EUR, BSD. So yeah. So you see all the fiats are available, and then you can buy it through fiat, and if you have crypto deposit already, you can use that also to begin your journey. So that's how it is. So guys, while I'm going to get my maybe demo account set up for this particular platform, which is our Zbit platform, I will be showing you more features on it, and I will be taking you through demo trading or whatever, and then we will definitely see all these features in much more easier manner. All you need to do is first start your login setup, which is very important. Get your account KYC verified, which is also very, very important. Perhaps for different countries, it might be a different scenario altogether. But in most cases, it will ask you for your identity documents and sometimes your proof of address. In most of the cases, the KYC documents remain same. So whichever country you belong to, so if you are based out of say Dubai, UAE, then you can use basically your resident card, which is Emirates ID, to register yourself along with your passport and all. Or you can, if you belong to India, then obviously the set of documents might vary. So you can use something for your ID document, which can be passport, Aadhaar card, or I think because if you are getting taxed in India, then obviously you might have to also submit your PAN card, which is required. And then we also have to have maybe even if you're not submitting your passport or something, then maybe electoral cards, something for proof of address that needs to be there. Maybe it can be any utility bill, or it can be a phone bill. Any of that sort can be utilized. So that's how you KYC register yourself. And maybe if in case you do not belong to India and you belong to some other country, then the resident permit from that country and your passport remains the same, and any other utility bill which might be required for further verification might be needed from your end. So I think that's so easy to kind of register on the platform and go about spot trading and futures trading. So if you haven't really explored the option yet, please go check it out yourself. As you know, we have it's been just a week that this is launched. The application is still under progress. It will keep on developing. It will keep on having new features on it. As it is going to progress, it will continue to have all of that. So let's just hope that as we progress on a day-to-day basis, we'll have a lot more exciting things coming our way. So I have shown you a passive way of making income, and I was going on telling to you guys since very long that we do have passive ways of making income, and you have seen one of them right now. If you are going to refer it to your friends, family and everybody, and you have a referral that's coming through you, then you can definitely make a lot of commission through it. So share code with your friends. I have shown you that feature on the app itself. If not, I'll show you once again. Where is it? Just a sec. So once you get onto the home page, which is you get onto this icon here on this right. Okay, and then you have this option called invite a friend, which is the third option here. So once you click on it, you can see some of the codes, the invitation links, the invitation codes, and also the QR code mentioned here. And all of these can be shared with your friends and family so that you can start earning a lot of bonuses. So guys, don't wait even before your spot trading or your future trading journey begins. You can start making money out here. But before you can actually proceed with it, make sure you just get yourself KYC verified so that you are not deprived of any feature or deprived of anything out here. The more when it gets KYC verified, it's it's a good thing, of course, because the identity of yours is secured with the platform, and whenever you're dealing with anybody, right now I don't see the P2P feature on this application, and I'm assuming right now this is not available on this because we do have a P2P platform separately. So even if you're doing P2P or you're doing any other thing on the platform, you know that you are KYC verified, which means it gives you the protection, security, and everything that you need from the application perspective. So I think that's a good feature altogether, and that's what we need to have so that we can avoid any kind of scams, things like that. So you have to be really aware quickly, you have to be very aware of what's happening everywhere and not just get fooled by anyone out there. Yeah. So it looks more or less similar to Binance, if I'm not wrong. I think that's what I keep telling everybody. I keep giving the feedback. But once you start using it, you can give us a feedback, how it looks like, how it feels like. Of course, I'm also going to use it and I'm going to give a genuine feedback. Maybe if some of the features are not good, if some of the things are not working for me, or whatever issues I have, probably because I have my customer service available just a click away. So everything is down here, and I can definitely utilize this for all of the things that I need to do. Okay. So let's just see what else we have. Let's just put some more nice videos. How to become rich with crypto. I think that's something that I would like to put a video for. I think all of us know Jeff Bezos for sure, right? The CEO of Amazon. Maybe there's a good video of him, like let's play this and see. I want to keep you guys inspiring all the time. I want you guys to be having mentors, people that have
I was working at a financial firm in New York City with a bunch of very smart people. And I had a brilliant boss I much admired. I went to my boss and told him I was going to start a company selling books on the internet. He took me on a long walk in Central Park, listened carefully to me, and finally said, "That sounds like a really good idea, but it would be an even better idea for someone who didn't already have a good job." You can have a job, or you can have a career, or you can have a calling. And if you can somehow figure out how to have a calling, you have hit the jackpot, because that's the big deal.
I met Jeff Bezos 25 years ago, and he told me, Dave, I want you to invest in my company. What are you doing? I'm going to start a bookstore in my garage. Okay, and I'm going to put it online. People will buy online, and I'm going to ship out of my garage. But if you invest in me, Dave, someday I'm going to be the richest man in the world. I'll do over $100 billion. First of all, there is no such thing as $100 billion 25 years ago. Statistically, there's no such thing. Countries didn't have 100. Our national debt wasn't $100 billion. And this dude's telling me at 26 years old that he's going to be the richest man in the world because he has a garage and the internet? That was his truth. No, but he did not know it, and neither did I. But the difference between him and I is I was laughing, scoffing, and jesting at him, and he was already applauding himself, going, at the right way, at the perfect time, I'm going to make as much as I can as quickly. And I'm sitting there going, there's no way this is going to be a big business.
Do something you're very passionate about, and don't try to chase what is kind of the hot passion of the day. Seen in that light, it really was a difficult choice. But ultimately, I decided I had to give it a shot. I didn't think I'd regret trying and failing. And I suspected I would always be haunted by a decision to not try at all. After much consideration, I took the less safe path to follow my passion, and I'm proud of that choice. As a young boy, I had been a garage inventor. I'd invented an automatic gate closer out of cement-filled tires, a solar cooker that didn't work very well out of an umbrella and aluminum foil, baking pan alarms to entrap my siblings. I'd always wanted to be an inventor, and she wanted me to follow my passion. There's a military phrase that I especially love, and it says, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And I have seen that in every endeavor I've ever been in. That's the kind of thing that really allows you to make progress. You know, you get certain gifts in life and you want to take advantage of those. But I guess my advice on adversity and success would be to be proud not of your gifts, but of your hard work and your choices. So, you may be, the kinds of gifts you get, you might be really good at math. It might be really easy for you. That's a kind of gift. But practicing that math and taking it to the next step, that could be very challenging and hard and take a lot of sweat. That's a choice. You can't really be proud of your gifts because they were given to you. You can be grateful for them and thankful for them. But your choices, you choose to work hard. You choose to do hard things. Those are choices that you can be proud of. You can choose. We all get to choose our life stories, and it's the choices that define us, not our gifts. Everybody in this room has many gifts. I have many gifts. You can never be proud of your gifts because they're gifts. They were given to you. You might be tall, or you might be really good at math, or you might be extremely beautiful or handsome, or there are many gifts, and you can only be proud really of your choices because those are the things that you are acting on. And one of the most important choices that each of us has, and you know this just as well as I do, is you can choose a life of ease and comfort, or you can choose a life of service and adventure. And when you're 80, which one of those things do you think you're going to be more proud of? You're going to be more proud of having chosen a life of service and adventure. There's never been a better time to be alive. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of inspiration that the world generates for me, and I think for a lot of people. It's insane, the amount of change and invention and opportunity. life, the life you author from scratch on your own, begins. How will you use your gifts? What choices will you make? Will inertia be your guide, or will you follow your passions? Will you follow dogma, or will you be original? Will you choose a life of ease, or a life of service and adventure? Will you wilt under criticism, or will you follow your convictions? Will you bluff it out when you're wrong, or will you apologize? Will you guard your heart against rejection, or will you act when you fall in love? Will you play it safe, or will you be a little bit swashbuckling? When it's tough, will you give up, or will you be relentless? Will you be a cynic, or will you be a builder? Will you be clever at the expense of others, or will you be kind?
Every time you figure out some way of providing tools and services that empower other people to deploy their creativity, you're really onto something.
You know, you're very lucky if you have a career. A lot of people end up with a job. If you don't love your work, you're never going to be great at it. Jules Verne, Mark Twain, Galileo, Newton, all the curious from the ages would have wanted to be alive, most of all, right now. As a civilization, we will have so many gifts, just as you as individuals have so many individual gifts as you sit before me. How will you use these gifts? And will you take pride in your gifts or pride in your choices?
So guys, I think it plays a major role for for all of us to understand that all these great people, whoever has become great so far, including Jeff Bezos or anyone for that matter, that they have not become great overnight. All the good people, all the great people that we keep hearing about, or we talk about, are all from the scratch, from somewhere they have started, and that is what basically everyone has done. So their stories and their inspiration will be with us, and their learnings, their struggles, the more we know, the more we understand that they also come from a background where they started from somewhere, they started from scratch, they started from somewhere. So I think that's a bit of inspiration to all of us, because even in in any field, to be precise, like whether it's in any industry, honestly speaking, there will be always ups and downs, whether it is also related to trading, to be honest. There will be days when there will be ups, there will be days when there will be downs. So I think that how we cope up with during those days is what matters a lot, and that is what we actually want to understand and say, that even during those tough days and tough times, we will be thriving through. So I think I like doing these, I like to explore the lives of all the great ancient people from these, from the time I know, whoever I know, that whoever has become great has not become great obviously overnight. So, these kind of inspiration stories does help a lot. And I think it should help you as well in terms of, even during those tough days of time when you're not doing well. So if if suppose that there are days when cryptos are not doing well, I think you can motivate yourself with some kind of nice, good stories out there, and especially stories of the inspirational people, like some of your idols. Maybe I'm going to play some biographies or some stories about maybe the actors, the actresses, or things like that. Also, maybe some people who you might be interested in, not just about business entrepreneurs or things like that, because everyone has their own story, everybody has their own struggle. The best part is, after going through all the struggles that each one of us goes through, the best thing is always that how quickly can you stand up, how quickly can you get back on your feet after seeing that downfall, right? So that is what matters, and that is what I think is an inspirational note for all the people out there. So I hope with this note, even when the markets are down, let's just inspire each other, let's just be positive and focused. And also remember the fact that crypto markets are highly volatile, but then it might have a small pullback or price corrections or things like that, but after that pullback, there's always good days that's coming your way, so you don't have to worry about it. So even if in short term you have seen some kind of pullback down there, you might as well see some uptrend again, something going again back. So not to worry on those days. We are always together. We are always there in this journey. So hopefully, even if those tough days come, when the markets are down, the price corrections, there is big room for buying more at those stages, especially when the projects are really good, when the projects will grow. It's time that we buy at that point in time, and not fear and sell, or not fear and lose out on the hope or things like that. So staying calm, staying patient, staying disciplined is what it takes to be a successful trader, rather than any other thing. No amount of knowledge is ever going to help you. It's only being calm, patient, and I think being disciplined is what matters. So with that positive note, and with that beautiful lessons from all the beautiful people out there, Mr. Warren Buffett, one of my favorite and idols that I totally idolize, and Jeff Bezos, of course, one of the very iconic persons. And then I think yesterday we did see a little interview about Elon Musk too. I think all these inspirational people are there in this industry and this world, to kind of give us live examples of, from where they have started to where they are. So it's not looking at their stories and their struggles and their life too, we can get inspired and definitely learn through that. And, we are not away from what we need to achieve of what they have actually achieved. So I think let's just take that as a positive positive thing in our lives, and then proceed with ending this session for now. I will be catching with you again between 3 to 5 to discuss further more about a lot more other different topics that we have, and we will definitely be touching base upon a lot more other stuff that we need to. So on an ongoing basis, guys, I would request, in case you are online, to send me a hi, to send me anything that you think would work, because the more we interact, the more we are going to connect with each other. And while we are actually going live every day between like we're going live for 4 hours, 8 hours, whatever, I want to make sure that I also give you a demo about the product, and then you should get acquainted with it. And right now, because Zbit is live, we want you to basically forward that to as many people as you can, and then earn that referral bonus which is coming your way. So take care of yourself, and I will catch with you between 3 to 5, and have a great afternoon.